Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio. Today I am doing a jelly print. This one is an attempt at a one print pull, sort of. And I wanted a purpley color. Now, I know you should be careful of what red and blue you combine, because they don't always make a pretty purple, as you'll see. But I think this ends up kind of a purpley gray color. I think I don't even know if I can see that. I can't remember if that was true blue that I did, and I can't remember the red I did, and some white. And then I added a lighter blue color in there to help lighten it up. But obviously, when you add more colors, you end up with more paint. So I'm pulling some of that off and adding some more white because it's just too dark. I didn't want to go that dark in the beginning, and it is pretty opaque, this color. Well, that happens when you mix white. I'm not sure about the blues because I can't remember. I just wing it, you know. I just picked up my bucket of Liquitex and said, I'm going to print with Liquitex today. So this is a mask I made a long time ago. Have not used it yet, so I thought I would give it a try. It's supposed to look like some sort of plants, you know. And then stamping with my little corrugated cardboard chunk. And this is to add a little background texture. I don't know what it held. Do I know what it held? I know it was really huge. And this is just a piece of it. And it's just like flat woven plastic. So it gives a sort of woven texture. And I decided lifting up, it didn't lift up enough. So I wiped out the little flower buds. And then I decided to just put it back on and go over it with another color. Because that purple was really starting to dry on me. So I felt like it needed something else. And I could have just left that mask on there and it would have worked just fine. But I didn't know what I was doing, as usual. So now I've got a bunch of white on there. And now I pull it and it lifted up a lot more of the paint this time. And again, going back in with my little chunk of cardboard, corrugated cardboard. Yeah, and making some bigger openings. And now I'm going to use some yellow, but this yellow is like, okay, this paint is really old. These little round tubs are pretty old. So it's gotten a little thicker than soft body. So I'm going to have to, I'm adding a little blue to it. Oh, I'm making green. Plus that blue's a little bit looser. I'll loosen it up. Maybe make that yellow not quite so thick. Alright, and now we're going to put it on there. And I like how this yellow-green color shows up in the spaces that I made with that corrugated cardboard. Then I give it a good rub down, and I leave it for a while to make sure everything comes up when I pull it up. You don't see it. There was time lapse there. So there I pulled it, and I'm like, okay. And I did that for a short. It's been out for a little while because I couldn't wait to try YouTube Shorts. And so I've been putting jelly prints out there. Anyway. Alright, so this piece was inspired by a picture that was 2 inchworms in some foliage. So I wanted to put, so yeah, when I see them, I see little weird caterpillar creatures when I see the finished piece. But I'm using that extra paint, and it's too much the same. Obviously, it's going to be too much the same. Even though I did lighten the other one, and this one's slightly darker, you can hardly tell. So I do end up having to work on this piece after I do the jelly printing. So I'm just using the curvy line on this particular stencil. This is Elizabeth St. Hilaire, one of her Gustav Klimt inspired stencils. I'm just using that wavy line for it. And cleaning out this other area because I don't want that to show up. Alright. So then I'm just going to use the curves to make my little, I don't know, they look more like caterpillars than inchworms. And they are floating in the air. And if you don't think about it when you're looking at it, it almost looks like some eyebrows. And so I didn't feel like it showed up very well, so I'm going to pull some black and hopefully get some definition around those curves. And here I'm just getting the excess, and we're going for what was left behind. And I'm trying to do this quickly so the paint isn't too dry when I do this. And I'm trying to match up my curves. 1 and 2. Okay, you can kind of see it, but it's still pretty dull. I feel like the whole thing's kind of dull. So I pull out some neon, and I'm just going to paint a little bit with the neon pink. So how's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. If you're liking what you see, think about subscribing. My goal is to get more gel printing in this year. A long time ago, I did some one print pulls. This one obviously was not. It was trying to be, but it was not. So I am going to be practicing that a lot because I did them quite a while ago, and I really liked the results. And so I'm working on that. So if you've seen any of my shorts, you'll have seen me pull the original, and then yeah, now we're gonna add to it. Okay, so I still feel like my little caterpillars need more. So I've gotten out some brighter pink. And this particular color, I have paint from the Hippie Crafter, and this one is called Rose, and that's the color I go to in that set a lot. It's almost gone. I'm gonna have to buy me some more of that color. I don't know if the Hippie Crafter sells it in individual bottles, or I might have to find somewhere else, maybe. Because I've still got all the rest. I've used the white a lot too. Yeah, white. I use a lot of white in a lot of things. Alright, so I think that's helping. And then I go through and try to use a pencil to define the lines around the plants a little bit. And I do this quite a bit, so I won't make you watch me do it around all of it. After I did that, I didn't feel like I was getting, well, very far. But I also wanted to put more definition around my caterpillars. And I do a little bit at the base as well, just to put a line under that plant. And then to help it be more permanent, I'm taking a little bit of gel medium and I'm washing out a brush, trying to get a clean brush, but I'm just going to take a little bit of that gel medium and activate the Stabilo, and you'll see it'll get dark real quick. Be careful, you can overdo it with the Stabilo. But I do like me some Stabilo. Do they look like eyebrows? Yeah, I could put some eyeballs on there, and it would be like Groot. Only his plant friend, Groot. Trying to think, did I do more? Oh yes, I added some fluorescent. Just a touch more fluorescent to finish it off. Brighten my little... Oh, and I add more too. I felt like my caterpillars needed segmentation. My stencil wasn't segmented enough. So I take a little bit of white paint and just dip a card in there and put some segments on my caterpillars. And then I think it's about finished. So what do you think? You like it? It's different. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up or comment. Thank you all for watching. Have an awesome day.